Hello everybody, it is I, Earth Knight, and welcome back to the Knight's Magitech War Pack. So as you can see, I'm in the town. Several of the buildings have been finished or added since you last saw. Um, we have two builder huts now that are now tier 2. This one is in the progress of being upgraded by our second builder. If I can get his name over here, Elias, I think? Oh no, Ethan. And then the other builder is currently upgrading that second house. We have two houses, two builders, one of the guard towers, and this decoration ship. This fountain was put here, and a restaurant so that our people can come and eat. The restaurant at this time, basically you can assign it food that it can make or use, as well as fuel that it can use. At this moment, they should have plenty of food at the time for whatever it needs. And as you upgrade it, you'll get more cooks and more spaces for people to eat, the faster it can be delivered and stuff like that. The houses, this is the in progress tier 2. The longest thing about getting this house is getting the two tulips. I needed a orange and red tulip, and it took a massive amount of exploring, as you can see. Massive amount of exploring to find those two tulips. Thankfully, I did find them together and was able to get that house upgraded so that we could get more people, because basically we're at full capacity of how many people we can have, and they all have jobs. We have a guard, two builders, and the cook. So that's all 4 people, and our houses only house 1 person at a time until you upgrade them. Because I'm upgrading the 2 houses, that means we'll be able to have 4 people, which means I need to... Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Which means I need to build another house shortly. But I'm waiting for this builder to upgrade so they can use stone tools, because the first tools they can use is wooden tools, which it provides you. But when you upgrade it to the second level, it can now use stone tools. And stone tools allow it to be slightly faster in digging the dirt or mining rock or whatever else they need. Same with miners. They start with using only wooden until you upgrade them. Farmers are the same way. So it's based on how fast they break tools and how fast and easy it is to replace them. That is pretty much all that I have accomplished. I did go and help Fry out a little bit. He's pretty far away, and when I was trying to set up the recording, it didn't want to record the sound properly. I've been having some issues with that recently, so I wasn't able to get the sound from that, but we did go and raid a little, or sorry, not a little, but a big pillager, the hidden house thing, the hidden mansion from the Dark Oak Forest, which is where I was able to actually get this eye, this magical eye, and while I was exploring around for the tulips, down here-ish, one of these 2 areas had a jungle temple, which I raided. I think it's one of these here. Or maybe it's here. Somewhere around here, there's actually a jungle temple that I got to take, and that's where I got that rogue eye. Ooh, wrong button. So yeah, there's several treasures from there. I've also started on Pam's Harvest Craft. A little more in-depth, which is where I got these bacon cheeseburgers to fill our health, because I've been mining and getting a lot of the heart fragments from a bunch of the chests from ships that are underwater, and so I've been working on those a lot. But yeah, for now, what I really want to actually start working on is expanding the magical repertoire. So these are base floors, which basically means that from this area, I expand out as I need for each mod. And each mod gets its own level. This is more for a personal space level and defensive area, in the case that this gets infested by mobs or fire or whatever else. So with that, I want to actually begin a more in-depth on this mod here, Ars Nouveau. Let me first name these spells, because when I made them, I kind of made them in the heat of the moment. So with Ars Nouveau, the first things you start out with are these three: projectile, self, and touch as your form. The effect is break and harm. And the way that it works is basically you have a form, then you have an effect. And then there's another one that we will get into as we level up this mod that goes in between, such as the time duration, speed of projectile, stuff like that. And basically you have to have a form, which is how it actually is projected. You can only have one form at a time. But the effects can vary. I can easily make this projectile both a break and a harm. So harm here, its schools is an elemental earth. It damages a target, may be increased by amplify, or applies the poison debuff when used extend time. Multiple harms without a delay will not apply due to invincibility on hit. So for example, this is just taking, this was my example, this is just taking extra mana to apply these two because there's no delay in between. So that is the amount of damage that we can actually do at this time. Break does the same thing. It's from Earth. Well, it breaks blocks of average hardness. You can increase the level of harvest level by amplify, or sensitive will give it shears instead of a pickaxe for like grass and stuff. There's also one that will allow us to get silk touch. Dynamic lighting, usually I have this turned on, which means that when at nighttime when I shoot my spell, it'll glow in the dark. Sounds, this allows you to change the sounds. Currently there's only Fire Family as the sounds, and you can change the pitch and all of that stuff for it. Also to open this, so if I right click, I'm going to use my spell. If you hit the C key, it brings up the actual notebook. If you don't want to deal with that, there is the Warn notebook that you spawn with, and this just straight up opens up to this area to teach you the mods and stuff, which is this here. You can also choose your colors for the different ones, which is something I tend to do. Usually my harm will be the red color, while my dig will be orangish brown. Right. That way I can, when I shoot it, I know from just looking at it instead of having to read in the bottom left. Familiars, this lists the familiars that we will have when we continue this, but this is a lot of information that we have to go through because there are several mods that we have additional to this. I will point out that Ars Arsenal is currently disabled on here due to the fact that Ars Nouveau had a recent update and was not able to support it. To make this book, which I believe I got on one of the first episodes, you just take a simple book. You take a book, and then you put these four iron tools, so everything but a hoe, and shears, and then you get a novice spell book. What this can be used for is you can dye it a different color. So I usually have 3 different spell books. Once I get enough resources to upgrade it to level 2. We will have the attack book, utility book, trap book, or advanced spell book. The attack book will have all my attack focused spells. The utility book will have things like dig, fly, float, block placement, stuff like that. Because each book can only hold 10 spells. And then the last book usually has my rune based, where I can shoot runes and have different traps that help me during combat. I also made a pickaxe. I'm pretty sure I made that in the last episode. And I enchanted this when I went to help Fry. And it was just the first level enchantment. All I knew was going to give Spirit Plunder 1. But it also gave me Haunted and Unbreaking, which is really handy. Where did I just throw that? Oh, there it is. Which is really handy because it helps me get a whole lot more of souls, as you can see. I have almost 2 stacks of Wicked and over a stack of Arcane Spirits. Now that, and we have 8 Eldritch. Now that I've actually gone through all of that work. But yeah, and EMC, if you didn't notice, is 9.2 million. 9 million. So we can definitely upgrade our Power Flower one more time, or even the condenser itself. So first things first, we're going to go through with this book, and we're going to get through the getting started while our builders build. So I'm actually going to teleport myself over here. Poop! There we go. Voila. Um, just to give some synopsis for the teleport ability, it is only teleportable in your land is the only allowable area to teleport. So if I'm over at my place and I teleport here, that's fine. If I teleport to spawn, that's required. I am also an admin, so I have to be able to help people. However, people cannot teleport to other people's bases without them giving permission. We had a mod that gave us basically the server plugins for that kind of stuff, but it stopped working after a while, so we just decided to use the journey map anyways. Yeah, as you'll watch, he'll slowly upgrade things, and he'll be replacing the blocks and then adding on. The easiest thing is to always see the roof finishing. But to start, we're going to go into the getting started. And then there's several of these are normal things, while some are actually from other mods to help. So better casting is the first one I obviously looked at. Your mana pool will be expanded with special mage armors, enchantments, learning new glyphs, or by drinking potions. Once you have acquired a mage bloom seed, you may craft novice robes, which will expand your crafting ability significantly. These robes will self-repair using your mana pool, have a high enchantability, and provide decent armor. And this is the enchanting apparatus, which is something I started collecting stuff for, mostly the stone and gold, because that's what it takes. You'd require pedestals and the arcane table, as well as the enchanting apparatus. As you see, it's pretty expensive to get started in this mod, which is why I waited till now to start it, now that I have the 9 million EMC. I'm going to be flashing back and forth mostly just to make sure that they keep building, keep them loaded. But a big thing we're going to need is a lot of gold ingots. Stone is another one. And then we're also going to need, now I think about it, oh, I'll be right back.